Anyways, one of the most famous fossils was Lucy. He was Australopithecus afarensis, and that means southern ape of Africa, is what that means. And it was based on bones found in Ethiopia, and as a result of this great discovery, there are now museums throughout the world, probably 20 or 30, that have models of Lucy, and I will show you a couple of examples. She was the best example we have of a missing link between apes and humans. So if we can poke holes in this example, the whole edifice falls. It's the best example. Okay, and then I'll go to another area. Laetoli footprints. In 1976, paleoanthropologist Mary Leakey found ancient hominid footprints in Laetoli, which is an area in northeastern Tanzania. And now there's no evidence, but they hypothesize they belong to Lucy. And we're talking about, I forget, 500 miles away from where Lucy was found. So how do we know that these footprints were based on some type of Australopithecus? Well, we don't. They were dated by some evolutionists to be close to 500,000 years older than Lucy. So that's a problem. And when we look at the footprints, we find, well, there is what footprints should look like based on these feet. And of course, we have a human foot here. Large heel, adapted for walking. Stiff midfoot for propulsion to push us forward. And abducted big toe in line with other digits, which means it comes together. And in a chimp, we see a small heel, ankle adapted for climbing, which that certainly is, and a flexible midfoot, or the metatarsal break, which is what they call that, and that is effective for grasping. So in essence, a chimp has 4 hands, okay, and that is a hand on a chimp. Humans don't have anything close. So now when we look at the footprints they found, which are supposed to be 500 million, what did I say, years older than Lucy, there's an example of one. It doesn't look like a footprint made by a chimp at all. It looks just like a human. In fact, the write-ups of this say that if some of you people walked down a street that was wet or a sand beach, you would produce footprints that looked just like that. Okay? So my conclusion are these footprints were made by humans just like us. But of course that doesn't fit the scenario because they're older than Lucy, and therefore Lucy could not be a missing link between us and other apes. And some examples you can see they're working on. There's quite a few. So we can get a good idea of what the footprints look like. And they indeed look like footprints made in the sand on a beach by modern humans. And they indeed look that way. And there's a picture of what Lucy and her husband, she's got a husband now. She's got a child too. So they're all set. Nice family. And one thing I noticed when looking at this is they have ape heads, but very human-like bodies. It's convenient. It fits. And very human, of course, like feet. Total of 69 prints, which is quite a few. 31 are large, 38 are smaller. So they figure the 31 large are done by males, the 38 smaller done by females. And then there are a child, small, very small prints of a child, which are preserved as well. And they're found, okay, I've got the number here. They're found about 1,000 miles from Lucy's bones. So that alone is a problem for their theory. It's a long walk, yeah. Especially back in those days when the only transportation they had was walking. Or horses, I guess, maybe. So my conclusion is these are likely human footprints. And as one quote, this is Tim White, one of the leading paleoanthropologists, said the Laetoli hominid trails do not differ substantially from modern human trails made on a similar substrate. And so that is what the evolutionists say. The strong evidence, to me, it's pretty obvious that they are human footprints. And then they found another set in 2016, and at least 5 bipedal humans they found, and again, they look like human footprints. And one theory is that the prints are local people. They date the prints by the material they're in. And the material may be 2,000 years old, but that doesn't mean the footprints are 2,000 years old. So it's difficult to date the prints on the basis of the material strata that they're in. And we know the local people, the Maasai Indians, they basically have children that have been observed to walk in the footprints of adults, which is what they found in these Laetoli footprints as well. So I would assume they're just footprints of local people. And they may be old, they may be several hundred years old, they may be a couple thousand years old, but not much more. And the other footprints they discovered, there was one set actually that require a size 11 human shoe size. In other words, looks like a 6 foot tall man, and of course Lucy is estimated to be between 3.5 and 4 feet tall. So again, what does the evidence say? If we look at the evidence alone, what we have here is monkey, skeleton, parts, and in this case, human footprints. Another factor is, which I think I mentioned later, is that aside from the footprints, they found footprints of modern mammals like bears. And so that also indicates that these were just people walking around back then. And there you can see, walking upright is critical to prove human evolution because humans are the only primates that are fully committed to walking upright all the time as adults. I bet it's been a while since any of you crawled on all fours. Almost 99.99% of the time, you're either walking on 2 feet or you're laying down or sitting down. So that's our normal mode. But with chimps, with other primates, that is not the normal mode of walking. Some can walk upright for short distances, but not too far. They get tired, and it's hard to walk that far, so they walk on all fours. And then 2016, they found another set of footprints located 150 meters away. And these footprints, these trackways are surrounded by hundreds of footprints belonging to modern mammals and birds. So that's a problem.